Exodus chapter 29. This is what you are to do to consecrate them, so that they may serve me as priests. Take a young bull and 2 rams without defect, and from the finest wheat flour make round loaves without yeast, thick loaves without yeast, and with olive oil mixed in, and thin loaves without yeast, and brushed with olive oil. Put them in a basket, and present them in it, along with the bull and the 2 rams. Then bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance to the tent of meeting, and wash them with water. Take the garments and dress Aaron with the tunic, the robe of the ephod itself, and the breastpiece. Fasten the ephod on him by its skillfully woven waistband. Put the turban on his head and attach the sacred emblem to the turban. Take the anointing oil and anoint him by pouring it on his head. Bring his sons and dress them in tunics and fasten caps on them. Then tie sashes on Aaron and his sons. The priesthood is theirs by a lasting ordinance. Then you shall ordain Aaron and his sons.
出埃及记29，立祭司的条例。你要使亚伦父子们分别出来，做圣洁的祭司侍奉我。你要选1头公牛犊和2只毫无残疾的公绵羊，用细面粉预备无酵饼，调上油的无酵饼和涂上油的无酵薄饼。所有的饼都要用1个篮子盛，连同公牛和绵羊一起带到会幕那里。你要先让亚伦父子们在会幕门前沐浴，然后给亚伦穿上内袍、以弗得和以弗得的外袍，戴上胸牌，束上精致的以弗的带子，戴上礼冠，把圣冠系在礼冠上，之后把膏油倒在他的头上，立他为祭司。接着轮到亚伦的儿子们，要给他们穿上内袍，为他们束上腰带，戴上帽子，他们就按永远的条例得到祭司的职分。你要这样把圣职授予他们。
Bring the bull to the front of the tent of meeting, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on its head. Slaughter it in the Lord's presence at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Take some of the bull's blood and put it on the horns of the altar with your finger, and pour out the rest of it at the base of the altar. Then take all the fat of the internal organs, the covering of the liver and both kidneys with the fat on them, and burn them on the altar. But burn the bull's flesh and its hide and its intestines outside the camp. It is a sin offering. Take 1 of the rams, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on its head. Slaughter it, and take the blood and splash it against the sides of the altar. Cut the ram into pieces, and wash the internal organs and the legs, putting them with the head and the other pieces. Then burn the entire ram on the altar. It is a burnt offering to the Lord, a pleasing aroma, a food offering presented to the Lord.
要把公牛牵到会幕前面，亚伦父子们要把手按在公牛头上，在会幕门前，在耶和华面前宰牛。然后把血带到祭坛那里，用手指把血涂在坛的4个角上，剩下的血倒在坛角，再把遮盖内脏的脂肪、肝、2个肾脏和附在上面的脂肪都放在祭坛上烧掉，但牛皮、肉和粪要拿到营外焚烧。这是赎罪祭。要把1只公绵羊牵来，亚伦父子们要把手按在羊头上，然后宰羊，把血洒在祭坛的4周。再把羊切成块状，用水洗净所有的内脏和腿，跟肉块和头放在一起，然后把整只羊放在祭坛上焚烧。这是献给耶和华的燔祭，是蒙耶和华悦纳的馨香火祭。
Take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on its head. Slaughter it, take some of its blood, and put it on the lobes of the right ears of Aaron and his sons, on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes of their right feet. Then splash blood against the sides of the altar. And take some of the blood on the altar, and some of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it on Aaron and his garments, and on his sons and their garments. Then he and his sons and their garments will be consecrated. Take from this ram the fat tail, the fat on the internal organs, the covering of the liver, both kidneys with the fat on them, and the right thigh. This is the ram for the ordination. From the basket of bread made without yeast, which is before the Lord, take 1 round loaf, 1 thick loaf with olive oil mixed in, and 1 thin loaf. Put all these in the hands of Aaron and his sons, and wave them before the Lord, as a wave offering. Then take them from their hands, and burn them on the altar along with the burnt offering, for a pleasing aroma to the Lord, a food offering presented to the Lord. After you take the breast of the ram for Aaron's ordination, wave it before the Lord as a wave offering, and it will be your share.
你要把另一只公绵羊牵来，亚伦父子们要把手按在羊头上，然后宰羊，取一点血涂在亚伦和他儿子们的右耳垂、右手的大拇指和右脚的大脚趾上，余下的血就洒在祭坛的四周。再从祭坛上取一点血，与膏油一起洒在亚伦父子及其衣服上，这样他们和他们的衣服就被分别出来，变得圣洁。你要取出羊的脂肪、肥尾巴，遮盖内脏的脂肪、肝叶、2个肾脏和附在上面的脂肪，以及右腿，因为这是受圣职时所献的羊。再从耶和华面前的篮子里取一个无酵饼、一个调油的无酵饼和一个薄饼，把这些祭物都放在亚伦和他儿子的手中，作为摇祭，在耶和华面前摇一摇。然后你要把这些祭物接过来，放在祭坛上焚烧，献给耶和华，成为蒙耶和华悦纳的馨香火祭。你要拿起亚伦承受圣职时所献的那头公羊的胸肉，作为摇祭，在耶和华面前摇一摇。之后，这份祭肉就归你。
Consecrate those parts of the ordination ram that belong to Aaron and his sons, the breast that was waved and the thigh that was presented. This is always to be the regular share from the Israelites for Aaron and his sons. It is the contribution the Israelites are to make to the Lord from their fellowship offerings. Aaron's sacred garments will belong to his descendants, so that they can be anointed and ordained in them. The son who succeeds him as priest and comes to the tent of meeting to minister in the holy place is to wear them 7 days.
要将属于亚伦父子们受圣职时所献的摇祭胸肉和举祭腿肉分别出来，使之圣洁。这些祭物要从以色列人所献的平安祭中取出来，归给亚伦父子们，作为永远的定例。这是以色列人当向耶和华献的祭物。亚伦的圣衣要留给他的子孙，他们可以穿上这圣衣受膏，承受圣职，接替亚伦做祭司的那位后裔。每次进会幕的圣所供职时，都要一连7天穿着圣衣。
Take the ram for the ordination and cook the meat in a sacred place. At the entrance to the tent of meeting, Aaron and his sons are to eat the meat of the ram and the bread that is in the basket. They are to eat these offerings by which atonement was made for their ordination and consecration. But no one else may eat them, because they are sacred. And if any of the meat of the ordination ram or any bread is left over till morning, burn it up. It must not be eaten, because it is sacred.
要在圣洁的地方煮受圣职时所用的公绵羊肉，亚伦父子们可以在会幕的门前吃这些祭肉和篮内的饼，他们要吃这些在受圣职时用来赎罪，使他们圣洁的祭物。但普通人不能吃，因为这些是圣物，若有受圣职时的肉或饼留到早上，就要烧掉，不可再吃，因为这些都是圣物。你要照我的吩咐，为亚伦父子们举行受圣职礼，历时7天，每天要献一头公牛做赎罪祭洁净祭坛，然后用膏油抹祭坛，使祭坛圣洁。你们连续7天都要这样做，这样祭坛便完全圣洁， 凡是碰到祭坛的都变得圣洁。
Do for Aaron and his sons everything I have commanded you, taking 7 days to ordain them. Sacrifice a bull each day as a sin offering to make atonement. Purify the altar by making atonement for it and anoint it to consecrate it. For 7 days make atonement for the altar and consecrate it. Then the altar will be most holy, and whatever touches it will be holy. This is what you are to offer on the altar regularly each day. 2 lambs a year old. Offer one in the morning and the other at twilight. With the first lamb, offer 1/10 of an ephah of the finest flour, mixed with 1/4 of a hin of oil from pressed olives, and 1/4 of a hin of wine as a drink offering. Sacrifice the other lamb at twilight with the same grain offering and its drink offering as in the morning, a pleasing aroma, a food offering presented to the Lord. For the generations to come, this burnt offering is to be made regularly at the entrance to the tent of meeting before the Lord. There I will meet you and speak to you. There also I will meet with the Israelites, and the place will be consecrated by my glory. So I will consecrate the tent of meeting and the altar, and will consecrate Aaron and his sons to serve me as priests. Then I will dwell among the Israelites and be their God. They will know that I am the Lord their God, who brought them out of Egypt, so that I might dwell among them. I am the Lord their God.
你们每天要献上2只1岁的羊羔做燔祭，1只在早晨献上，另1只在黄昏献上。要用1公斤细面粉调1升橄榄油做成素祭，与早晨献的羊羔一同献上，再献上1升酒做奠祭。另1只羊要在黄昏的时候献上。所献的素祭和奠祭要跟早晨的一样，作为蒙耶和华悦纳的馨香火祭。你们世世代代要不断地在我面前献上燔祭。祭礼要在会幕门前举行，这会幕就是我跟你们会面和交谈的地方。我要在那里和以色列人相会，我的荣耀将使整座会幕圣洁。我要使会幕和祭坛圣洁，也要使亚伦父子们圣洁。做祭司侍奉我，我要住在以色列人中间，做他们的上帝，他们必知道我是他们的上帝耶和华。我带领他们离开埃及，就是为了要住在他们中间。我是他们的上帝耶和华。